To say that he goes beyond music is such an understatement. It's visuals to music videos to live.
Like he's been influenced by Akira, like with Stronger, like in his early work.
Yeah, he loves Akira.
What did you think about the Bully album?
The long-awaited Bully album. And yeah, I was just really excited to just hear this album and just like to see the sort of the creative world that he would put together. I think he first announced it like 2 years ago.
Wow.
2 years ago, like right, just like as he was doing the Vultures 2 rollout, he announced Bully. I mean, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and
yeah, I really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast when you played that in China.
That's the one.
Yeah, that was nice.
That's when we first heard it, and it was like, wow, this actually sounds really different to what we had heard
in the Vultures era.
Yeah, Vultures era, and like even Donda era. Like there's like something quite like stripped back and very pure. And
I'll say, in general, it's like very like kind of looking in. It's like introspective, where he's like really talking about his mental health journey and how it's made him feel, and like in the good and the bad. I feel like once you really like listen to it, like highs and lows. Like I think some are quite obvious, like with the title, burden on his shoulders, and how much work he's had to do, and how much that still ties back to the loss of his mother. So I feel like when you listen to the world as an album, I was like, it's actually quite an emotional album, and you can really see like he's on a really positive like journey. But that doesn't mean that there's not like dark periods and light periods. So I felt like it was a very like spiritual album.
I 100% agree with you on that. I think listening to the album, even the track list, you see a lot of the sort of the V1. The film that he put out with like the sort of the demo tracks that was sort of on the second half of the album, but the first half of the album, it's for the most part, it completely new. Felt like the first half was like some of it felt quite nostalgic, some of it felt quite contemporary, like like starting with King, that felt like very like 90s boom bap, like Cypress Hill was that really like that twangy sort of like reverb and like the sample that he used.
It was such a strong start to the album.
Listening to that, it was just like, I feel like he feels good. And for me, it's like I really like this artist, this hero for like anyone sort of like our age. And
side note, it's been like 2 decades. Over 2 decades, I think, of like listening to him. I think King and Father completely changed the Bully tracklist. Father, I've been waiting to say this. I immediately heard Yeezus. Like I was like, this is a Yeezus track. And then when we actually saw the behind the scenes, it's like, God, give me some like drum beats, like I'm the god. How amazing was their chemistry in the studio.
When you showed me that behind the scenes of them working in the studio together, that like really like. That was like the first thing I saw that day, and it just like really made my day. I was just like, oh wow, they're like in the studio, they look good, they sound good. It's got that sort of like nostalgia of like the Yeezus era. He even like you said, he even said give me the Yeezus like drums or something. Together, it's so beautiful.
I think my like favorite track on Bully was, it's all of it. But I think obviously the Indian sample that was used,
Bully,
on the actual like Bully song was like my favorite, because obviously the movie that he sampled it from was like proper OG, like something I would watch with my grandma and my mum, and then I've also been like listening to Yeezus Touch the Sky, so like to see those like two worlds collide. I'm excited for the India tour. I hope there's live stream too. So I've prepared some research, and I'm going to share like all the artists, and we can get through like the set design. We'll go through like the music video. We'll go through like a bit more detail with like what was Bianca's intention behind the father through her own quotes. Because I think for me it's really important to understand what the artist was trying to do. I think it's really important. Like this video is really about bringing all those elements together. So anyone who's interested in like visual worlds, and they can look at this and go, right, this is actually how you create a brand world, and how you can create in different like realms and different channels to like really bring people onto your journey. And I think the best person to learn from is Ye. Has always pushed the boundaries of art.
And I mean, to say that he goes beyond music is such an understatement, isn't it? Like he really cares about everything, from visuals to music videos to live experiences to the branding. Like just like the level of detail that he set on every project.
I think the branding and marketing is now he's actually like breaking the game and not doing the obvious. Like, you know, there's a typical rollout, but I think this is the most important actually. Ye actually teased this like 2 years ago for us to like, it built so much hype over those 2 years. And I think that in itself was so smart. He's really like leaning into like, oh, this is like work in progress. I'm going to get it to a certain level, but I'm constantly like improving it, testing it in the stadium. I think that's what I love about Ye is that he would, you know, like he literally got that Super Bowl ad and was like, yeah, I spent that money on the spot. So here's a video, go buy Yeezy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually like that about him, that actually he's not following the original format or the you know the cookie cutter approach, right? Okay, now we're going to do interviews, now we're going to do this. It's like, no, I'm going to do a 2-3 year journey and you're going to come on me and I'm going to get the most pre-orders, the most hype. I'm going to get you begging for it. And I think that is successful.
It's genius marketing, honestly, and you know, whether you like it or not, I mean, it works.
It really worked. I mean, you didn't like it because you had to wait.
I mean, it was
I always
torture.
let
It was
do
torture
whatever
for
he
me.
wants.
I was just like, oh,
We're two personalities.
You're just like, leave it. Honestly.
Just let him cook, man. Let him cook. Like, he would give it to us
sorry.
when we deserve it.
I'm never gonna. I'm always gonna be like, oh, is it dropping this week? It's like for you, it's like it drops when it drops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite quote of him before we get into the detail is that like, why do we like strategize so much? We don't have to have this all roll out at the exact same time. Like, I can drop it whenever we want, and that's why you're looking at him more. Because like, you know, some albums you're like, okay, they've dropped the videos, it's done now, right? But like with him, it's like anything can come, like at any time, and it will keep you like on your toes. And I think I think people need to have that magic in rollout. This is what I would like take away from like this album, rollout. Before we go into detail, is that there's this element of magic and waiting and cooking. I would say like cooking something up and then like keep improving it needs to be like tried more in the creative industry. And I think that's like amazing childlike kind of way of like creating and bringing joy back into like creating music or creating art. And that's something that I learn from all the time.
He's the pioneer of doing something like this, you know, from as early as the Pablo era. It's like, look, this album, I'm going to put it out now. These are the ideas, but I'm going to constantly make changes to it. He's like not burdened by like the deadline. Again, some people might not like that. Oh, why are you putting it out there if it's not done? Well, sometimes I want to go back in and just do a couple more strokes of different touches, you know. Before we start, I want to say thank you to our new subscriber. Welcome to our channel. Look forward to like chatting with you, and we're going to do like loads more cool stuff. So just keep letting me know like what you like. But I just want to say a huge thank you for subscribing. And also, you have your architecture license. Yes, I think last time I was on here,
you were just about to do your exam.
I was just about to do it for the Don Toliver before when Don Toliver album dropped. And I got it, man.
Yeah, you got it. So
after 10 years, I got it.
So now you're architect and
legally say I'm an architect.
So because you never let me say architect.
I know a lot about the cover art. I just know that it's obviously it's his son Saint, isn't on the cover with the chrome grills.
It actually was taken by Moriyama Daido, which is an incredible Japanese photographer, and he's really known as a street photographer. He's done some incredible work. So you can see like he has really owned this kind of like black and white, very gritty, and very like candid photography.
Yeah, very like wow, that's amazing. They're very like high contrast and
and he actually got famous because he built his entire career from like almost like rejecting like perfect photography. So at that time, there wasn't that much like kind of blur, grain, and chaos in people's like photos. So he really shot from his instincts, and that's what made him rise to fame, I would say. There's been some amazing photos with Alice. Alice actually took some photos of them when they were shooting.
Wow, that's the original sort of
the
print.
photo, the original print.
Oh wow, that's so cool. Is it behind the scenes of the actual photo shoot?
I really love this kind of really natural like texture and very candid and not very like engineered or like
overproduced.
That's it. Photos from the listening party kind of follow. I think it really created the whole black and white. It set the scene right for everything. And
that short film you're talking about off of V1.
Video with Saint.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like it literally like set the theme. I wanted to talk about the grills because you mentioned the grills. But the original one is inspired by this James Bond villain named Jaws.
Right.
And he wore this in the movie, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
mean, it looks really scary.
That's so wow. Is that the?
That's the original.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So going back to what we were saying is that I don't know which one came first, but clear that moriyama really set the theme of black and white. They did like bring in the elements of like yellow, like for the wrestling kind of influence.
I think especially had these billboards. They had multiple billboards at the same time, and it's just something about this kind of like almost mustard, like toned down yellow. It just really just kind of it just works.
And the artist, he also did the father font as well. We actually realized only when we were at the listening party that edges of Bully have like this. They're not. We thought they were like just block fonts,
just standard sort of bold font.
Yeah, but actually it has like a slight like curve on the edge.
On the edges. Yeah. You could make the slightest change, just like in the corner somewhere, and it just feels different.
Yeah, we're literally like talking about millimeters of. We would go into logos, and it would be a slight change in the corner. We had thousands of like variations, and it was so amazing to watch people work in this space. It works with the Japanese font.
It does look like a touch more sort of like natural and organic. Those kind of curved edges, those billboards. Yeah, it's really like very sort of minimal, but very striking.
Yeah,
and very like obviously like very like economical as well. Big snapshots from that film, right? So yeah, just like really sort of just clever use of something that just like an asset that you already have.
So the next thing that makes sense to talk about is a stadium, SoFi Stadium. You've just got your architecture degree, so I should hand you the set design conversation.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you look back at his previous live experiences, you know, the Donda era, Pablo era, Yeezus era, Dark Twisted Fantasies era, the Vultures experience, and this time you can clearly tell, like you can tell that's the design sort of like DNA that's from Aus, but he's just taken it to a whole different level. Like this is even through the screen I have never even seen anything like this.
There's been direct mention of Akira. Even Aus has mentioned like Akira in like the comments.
Yeah.
So we've known that he's been influenced by Akira, like with Stronger, like in his early work.
Yeah, he loves Akira, doesn't he? I think he tweeted out, like he shouted out to the creator and said, like this is like, you like openly said this is like my I draw the most inspirations in most of my work. But this idea of dome, I think it's kind of had like bit of an evolution throughout the years, because I think the first time I saw Ye perform on like a dome or like a curvature was probably back when he did the Larry Hoover show with Drake. Yeah, and that was kind of that was more sort of like, it was a dome, but it's kind of had like a flat top. Yeah, right, and then he kind of evolved that idea in. Maybe it was Korea.
It was in Korea, yeah, for Goyang Stadium.
Yeah, where it was a bit more sort of just more of a like the top of a spear, a bit more smooth. It was like a straw field. Yeah. In China.
I think it has a slight.
Yeah, I think it does. It does have like a curvature on it. It's like it feels like a hill. Yeah. And then when he went to Mexico, he did something a little bit different, didn't he? He performed actually on a much more flat stage. But the thing I loved about this particular stage in Mexico is that he really played with the idea of using big projections onto the actual stage. Yeah. Like a very enlarged live footage of him on the stage, and just
that was amazing.
And making it look like the moon, and having like kind of like sort of textures and bump to make it look like the moon. Yeah. And also having the smoke. So I thought that was really effective. But I think with the SoFi, he kind of merged all of those ideas together. Where, okay, I'm going to take this dome idea and I'm going to make it even more spherical, and I'm going to take the projection idea from Mexico, and I'm going to make this. I'm going to do a projection on the sphere. It could look like the Earth, like rotating Earth. I think it's just while also having this cylindrical screen that ousted from the Vultures experiences.
It was really a bringing of all of it. I mean, incredible texture. Yeah, and it looked like there was a layer of like literal sky
like
in the
clouds, like the cylindrical projection screen. I think that they use much more use of that on the second one.
The first night he was on a dome, which was, I think, is really great because night one you want to see him. It's like the reveal of the dome, and then the second day it was like, oh, there's this like, you know, we can. I think they did his video, right, live video.
Yeah, the projection onto the thing. Yeah. It's so clever because
constantly changing.
Yeah, and it's just like so clever because you're using it as almost like a big reveal of the dome, and it can go up or down.
You know when you're a kid and you're like drawing up stuff and you haven't been put through the ringer. You're dreaming to be an artist. That's the shit you would draw. And then you join the real world and like you can't do that.
You can't do that because of this. You can't do that.
It's like, I don't know.
It kind of kills your. it definitely kind of like stifles your.
You put like barriers into your brain.
Head, yeah.
But the architecture team at Yeezy must be like so liberated.
Just like liberation of like, oh, are we going to do that? We can make it happen.
That's why it's a joy to watch. And for artists, that's why we love him. Yeah. And we love his team because they're always like pushing the boundaries in every part of
the whole team, the whole anyone involved in that, involved in bringing SoFi's experience to reality.
I'm glad you said that because I have their names.
Amazing. Maybe I'll apply for a job.
Alice is just like this multi-hyphen. He's like director, you know, he did the slide video. He's been working like, I think even before Larry Hoover. He's been part of the Yay team for a long time. So I feel like everyone just like loves him. But Alice has mentioned there's an opera of creatives composed by Yay. But like See You Later is an agency in LA that did the stuff for Utopia. They've done loads of things. They did the lighting for the SoFi Stadium. Jake, Kashita Ayinde, Anderson, Ryan, Han, Akeem, Smith, and our legend, Vanessa Beecroft.
Oh, she was involved in this, was she?
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
Like, you know, like he really wanted to like nail it in that Vanessa Beecroft is the, you know, the OG. She actually shared one of her older works from 2004, and it had like these kind of like models on a hill.
That's from 2004.
Yeah, she said Vanessa Beecroft is a source of all mood boards, most known, unknown. Yea's platform and lifted up the most artists in history. He's right. Yeah, he's right.
I'm just like, because I'm looking at that and going like, I do see the direct influence that has had on
multiple things.
On even the nude model. I'm looking at that and I was like, easy coded. Yeah. People like on a platform, and I'm pretty sure in one of the Vultures listening party, he actually used like. He made like a smaller dome with like soil, with like that kind of like that kind of thing.
So another member of the team I want to show is Evans Words, and he actually I think is part of the Nico director team. So Nico did In Whose Name documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he's come through that kind of route into the team, and he actually developed the Sophia projection designs with Bianca.
When you see the earth and the dome, it's he designed it with Bianca.
Yeah, I love how they actually showed that he was like inspired by like different planets. So I'm definitely gonna have that in mind if I need to like work on projection, just like such a simple way to like show the effect. Yay, Alice smashed that entire project. Looks amazing, and we are also going on tour. So we are not giving up. We will see him.
The Yay Chronicles continues.
He went to some destination before, which we don't talk about, which you will see on my channel. But and I'm not going to tell you the next city either, just in case.
Because you don't want to jinx it.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this again. Back to the show, I think one thing that I absolutely have to talk about is the outfit. It was so sick. The name of the creator called Nusmus. He actually was a professional soccer player. Then he became the senior pattern designer under Yeezy Gap and Yeezy Adidas.
No way.
But he comes from a generation of like tailors from Senegal. Oh, yeah, so that's like part of his like, he's actually, they say, multi-generational heritage. And now he has his own like label, and he called on to him to create something custom.
Yeah, like you know, obviously he's donned a lot of masks throughout his career. You know, from as early as Yeezus. And
Magella mask.
Alexander McQueen.
Oh yeah.
The cross one, and also, you know, the hockey mask in the Vultures era. But yeah, this one seemed very like sort of minimal and almost like very like sort of hard.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, also with this kind of like canvasy, very structured two-piece outfit, and with the gloves, it reminded me of like a fencing, like a uniform fencing outfit.
Yeah.
Like especially like the helmet, and almost like this kind of burnt kind of uniform as well. So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Bianca Censori. It's like worth talking about what she's been up to before the father video, because
absolutely
she's been really busy setting her tone of voice, making her place in the industry of like how she, the kind of work she creates. And I think that was like super exciting when she launched Biopop in Seoul. And it seems that she has got quite a lot planned. Like every year she'll be doing a project.
Right.
Yeah, so like she's already got on her website like 2026, 2027, 28. I think it goes up to like 2030.
Wow.
So and
scary
it's
to even think about 2030.
Yeah, and there's like a couple of year gaps in between. I'm really excited to see how the works evolves, and I think there might be some clear connection. Like it's almost like it's an evolution of each, because I think one of them's called like rebirth or genesis.
Right.
And I think for this her first biopop, she really addressed themes of like simulation in capitalist societies. Like she mentioned like how women in the public eye become overtaken by their image, and she described it as like her phantom self, and then the original self becomes like almost like a myth. When she was getting interviewed, the model was talking for her, so she had a model of her with a mask.
No way.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Which maybe reflect I don't know, maybe some people like objectify, like can objectify you.
She goes, this is an act of repossession. She's reclaiming the unauthorized clones. But you can see it's like holding up the furniture. I mean, there is like some clear like inspirations behind it, like other artists. But I like the way that she has put it through her lens. As well as the furniture, she actually did a live performance. So I mentioned in Seoul, the live installation, and she actually there's a moment where like she's in the kitchen, she bakes a cake, and then she carries it into the dining room, where there's all like these women, like doubles of herself, and they're like restrained in the sculptural furniture. The furniture becomes extensions of the design, collapsing the distinction between object, body, and idol. And then the cake is baked into the performance and carried to the table, but it's not a nourishment, it's an offering. It embodies the tension of the kitchen as origin, labor, and ritual, a gesture of domestic service reframed as spectacle. Oh yeah, it's a 7-part cycle. And the kitchen becomes an altar, the cake a symbolic relic, and the furniture, the first round in a cycle that will expand into confessions, sacrifices, and rebirth.
There's something quite like religious about this, isn't there?
It really tied to the father video. Before we get into it, I think it's good to hear from her what she said. As a directorial debut, it felt like a natural extension of my background in architecture and performance art. The video setting in the church, a center of gravity for communities where life's more important rituals take place. Baptisms, deaths, weddings, confessions, holy communions, and prayer. The world stage. That's what she mentioned about the video. So you can see there's so many like themes like running in this one place, and it's kind of similar to her philosophy. She brought that kind of analogy into the space. And then a single frame had to hold and give structure to everything unfolding within it. I approached the blocking architecturally, allowing multiple scenarios to be viewed simultaneously within the same space. Every element, line, perspective, color, and texture was composed to dissolve the boundary between reality and the surreal, creating a spatial language that mirrors the logic of dreams. We felt that in the video straight away.
It was like watching it was like a fever dream.
Yes.
But it was so, even like not just the content, and not just the sort of the actions of the characters, but like the design and the color and the texture.
Yeah.
Everything was so almost like dreamy, and like it felt like a painting.
So obviously Censori talked a lot about like the video and what she was trying to get across, like, with the church. But she also says that directing is not a departure for me, but a shift in medium. When you want to expand as a creative, like I feel like in myself, I'm always, oh my God, I got to prove myself. It's like, no, like, being an artist and working in design in some shape or form, design, architecture, means you have a great sense of like, you have an eye. Like, I'm just shifting my mediums.
Yeah.
I'm still working with the same like tools and principles, but in a different kind of way. I'm just expressing myself. So I'm definitely going to take that.
Empowering statement for any sort of creative to venture outside of their sort of comfort zone. If you want to explore other mediums and do other things, and just just do it. I think she really, you know, sometimes you just have to have that trust in yourself to make a slight pivot into something else, because you're actually already doing something quite similar to whatever that next thing is. So I really respect that. I really respect what she said there.
Yeah, that was her perspective, but there was an actual official writing done on this video by Ludwig Brandt, and he shared the interpretation of the video on Instagram, and he is a collaborator of the Yeezy team. So the meaning behind Ye and Travis's Father videos. The video Father, directed by Bianca Censori for his album Ye, uses the church as a metaphor for power and order, where identity, morality and meaning are controlled rather than fixed. Figures like Ye appear as outsiders who don't fit the system and are pushed out, while the same essence returns in a new form like Travis and is accepted as long as it aligns with it. So that's why, you know, when the mask came off, he gets dragged out. Yeah. But actually Travis walks in and takes his own mask off and he's still alien. So it's like two aliens, but one is accepted and one is not. That's quite interesting. Symbols like the cross, sacrifice, the knight, power and authority, and the burning book, destruction of fixed truths, reinforce these ideas. The masked wrestler acts as a producer of staged violence, showing how narratives and hierarchies are constructed and repeated. Women are shown mainly as extensions of male power, especially in the wedding scene where they represent status more than independence. The video presents a closed system where the father figure holds ultimate authority over meaning. So, you know, at the end, everyone gets like, you know, everyone leaves, but actually the ever existing is the father who comes in and sits down. And I believe the young girl and the woman never move. Blue robe,
yeah. She's just sort of like on a
she's on like the pedestal on the back. She never changes.
It really does feel like, I think you said earlier that it's reminiscent of like a Renaissance painting, and it really is that, because in a Renaissance painting, I mean, also the fact that like you know the camera doesn't move and it's kind of like a fixed shot. Yeah. And all these figures are very very carefully and cleverly sort of positioned, and it's this, you're telling a story through these characters, even when the camera is kind of it's acting like a frame. Yeah. So in that sense, it really does. It pushes that sort of painted feel even more.
So the production design was done mainly by Cody Fusina. The fact that they did a 3D model, like the way that Bianca printed out the model, I think that's something that you'll be quite familiar with when we're creating our film. We're already like doing it in 3D. So like
sometimes you need a bit of a visual preview of what you want to do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that it was amazing to see, you know, like even like moving the people through.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to try and take that technique. She 3D modeled it and then she 3D printed it, and then they 3D printed the characters, and they were able to like time. They had the music playing and they were able to time
so good.
the entrance of each individual, but they've done it in 3D printing, so they were able to like rehearse on a small scale before putting all that money into a live production, which is probably one of the most greatest tips I'll give to anyone. Like, especially when you have not any money. Like, I'm using my savings right now. I'm definitely going to do that when we start production on our film, because it's such a great way to like plan everything.
And such a time saver, and it saves money, it saves time.
Great communication tool as well.
This is really where you see like her architecture background really shine. You know, like even doing like an actual, like a floor plan of the chapel, and doing a 3D build up of that, and then 3D printing it so you can see it in like with your own two eyes.
Architecture is used to like create sets, but I've never seen someone rehearse a film in a model. In the sense of a music video, I think it's like you can see she, you know, like you said, the plans and everything. Yeah, I mean, it's really her skills that she's like brought forward here, which is like in her unique way, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, this really like this. I think this music video really clearly represents her strengths and what she's capable of.
So there's even like, you know, Polaroids of like the costumes and everything. She directed every single element that you see. I mean, the outfits are fire. Let's talk about the
outfits in the music video. It's like, I'm trying to think, like, has he kind of delved into this kind of style before? Because obviously he's had so many eras, so many looks, iconic looks
Yeah.
over the years. And for a long time, he was kind of like really like just kind of like blacked out, a lot all white.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen him in this sort of like palette before. Kind of like really like in this kind of like oversized suit.
And the boots, the riding boots.
Yeah, how it's sort of like made it even more yay coded.
And
It
then
really does.
you have Travis like wearing like the kind of the shine on that suit.
I think it might even be like leather. I don't know. It looks kind of like waterproof a little bit. It's definitely different to what Ye's were.
Bianca also gave a big up to the Yeezy architect Gregory. He seemed like he had worked on the Yeezy Hill in Korea.
Yeah.
And it seems like she's working like with the Yeezy team to bring this stuff to life. So yeah, I definitely like discovered so many people like deep diving into the bully world. And I'm so excited because all these people are amazing. They're doing their own stuff and they're working with the Yeezy team. And it's always so like inspiring to like see even the like the short-term collaborators, the long-term collaborators, because they're always like so interesting. And that's why I really enjoy like doing these kind of stuff, because it's you untap a whole universe of like creatives. Yeah, like any Ye project, it's just like a real eye opener. You like really delve really deep into everything that goes into this, and I just have an even greater appreciation of everything that goes into this. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want to see where we ended up going on tour. Let us know in the comments if you're going on tour, and yeah, like definitely like check out all the artists that we mentioned. Especially if you're an artist. Because I think it's like super inspiring. Yeah. So if you like any albums come out and you like really want to know like who the artist behind it, like let us know in the comments, because we're always looking for like really cool like album rollouts and stuff. So yeah.